trip. It was not okay. Nobody talks about this. It's not like a chef is like back there, like, you know, searing tuna.
Let's stop holding back on this and let's get carried away. Stop making a big deal out of the little things, cause I got big deals and I got little things. Got everything I'm asking for but you. Stop making a big deal out of the little things, let's get carried away. Come right now, you know where I stand. I just wanna say you're mine, you're mine. I just wanna say you're mine.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. This is a channel where I give travel reviews and guides to the young professional to have a leisurely escape in a luxury way. Let's jump into the video. So we are talking about Qatar Airways Qsuite. So Qatar Airways is known for two things: their Qsuites and their customer service. They did not disappoint when it came to onboard customer service. We'll get to offboard customer service later, but they did not disappoint when it came to onboard customer service, and they did not disappoint when it came to the Qsuite in most ways. Hey, so I'm here now. I'm sitting in my seat. It was a long line, even like the priority check-in to check in, but I'm here. I love this situation. Oh, it's so nice. My door closes. Oh, that's my luggage bag. And here I am in 11K. Now, I am a solo traveler. I love the airplanes that are a 1-2-1 configuration so that solo travelers like me can sort of sit, you know, near the window and not be bothered with anyone else in their space. One of the first, or the first airline where two seats can be turned into like one cubicle, where you can like put both seats down and make it into like a bed, like a full size bed. I think it's like between a full and a queen size bed. And you can like literally sleep with your partner overnight, you know, on a flight, you know, overseas, which is pretty revolutionary. The other thing about the Qsuite is that you can connect not just 2, but 4 seats together, and you can make it like a little pod, like in the airplane, to where if you're traveling with your family, you've got basically 4 walls and 4 seats kind of facing each other. And it's actually really cool. And that's definitely something I want to do again. I don't think this is the first time that I'm flying Qatar at all. And the first time I'm flying Qatar, the first time I'm flying a Qsuite, and it was overseas, and it certainly will not be the last, let me tell you. And I would love to travel with other people because I really love that community aspect that the configurations of the seats give. First thing you want to do when you go on a Qatar Airways flight, when you're sitting in a Qsuite, this is kind of where the customer service thing comes in. And I didn't mention this before, but they are also either the first or one of the first airlines to do completely a la carte dining. That means that you are not tied down to, you know, a certain, you know, breakfast time, a certain lunch time, dinner time, because they realize that people are on different time zones. Travelers who are traveling for business or for leisure or both, you know, are coming from different parts of the world. Just because you pick them all up in the same airport doesn't mean that they all started at the same airport. And so I really appreciate Qatar's like sort of revolutionary way of attending to their customers. With that said, the first thing you want to do once you get situated in your seat, I was in 11K, you want to pull out the menu, and then you want to decide what all your meals are going to be, and give them, just to be courteous, give them a little bit of an estimate about the time where when you might want them. Just to be courteous to the onboard, service flight attendant, because it really helps him or her out. Because it was a 16-hour flight from LAX to Doha International, and then a 6-hour flight from Doha to Lagos, Nigeria. 16 hours. I left around kind of in the late morning, early afternoon from LAX, and so I knew I would be having lunch, dinner, breakfast, a snack in between, tons of champagne. I knew I would be having all of that. And so I had even looked at the menu before I left just to make it easier on myself. And as soon as I got situated, I called my flight attendant over to my seat and I said, "Hey, nice to meet you." She greeted me by name, because they have all of our names. When you're in a Qsuite, They know who you are, they know your information, they greet you by name, and they basically are your personal flight attendant. I think you share a flight attendant with every few seats. So it's the ratio is actually, you know, pretty good. And so she came over and we discussed, you know, the meal options, and I said, I want all of these things. And the reason to do that, guys, really is because things can run out, right? So it's a la carte. So people can order a dinner time entree every single time. You know, they can say, oh, I want 3 of these steaks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then by the time dinner time rolls around, you're like, oh, I want a steak. Oh, but it's gone, right? Because someone else ordered it all up. So my advice to you is order it immediately. The second thing you want to do after you order your food is you want to let them know the size, and they'll usually come around and ask, but sometimes they won't. They'll kind of wait a little bit, especially if you're like leaving in the morning. They're not going to come around and ask you what size pajamas you want, you know? And it's usually when you're going to a different country that you get pajamas. I don't know what the time threshold is, like, oh, if you're flying 6 hours or more, you get a pajama set. I'm not really sure about that, but if you are traveling overseas, you get a pajama set. So go ahead and give them your size. Go ahead and tuck it under into one of your, you have like a, you know, a bunch of little compartments, and you'll be good to go. Okay. Now let's talk about onboard service. Now, like I said, the ratio of flight attendants to passengers, I think it's like just a couple to a few passengers for every one flight attendant. It's really, really amazing. They're dressed in an immaculate way. They're very formal. They greet you by Mr. and Mrs. Doctor. They didn't greet me by doctor, but I don't tend to put my name as a doctor when I'm flying, just because, you know, it kind of blows up my spot a little bit. If there's a medical emergency, I try to do the best that I can, but I don't normally lead with that title. At any rate, when it came to, you know, calling, you know, the flight attendant for different things I needed throughout the flight, they were always there very promptly, always very excited to help out, and just really, but still in a formal way. And you kind of want that, you know, as a young professional, I am very used to, you know, going to work, doing my job, being professional, doing it to my fullest ability. And I really do think that having that happen in return when I'm even on a leisurely vacation, I just really appreciate it, because I just appreciate hard work, and I appreciate people showing up to work, doing the work, being professional, and it just makes me feel much more comfortable. I really, really love it. I love it. And so I would give that 5 out of 5. Now, I was not happy with the beds. I thought that they were too hard. I was on a 16-hour flight. I needed maximum comfort. Instead, I got cardboard. So I ended up having to get like 3 extra blankets to put it under my body. Nobody talks about this, so that I can have a little bit of comfort during my trip. It was not okay. It was not okay. The food, 5 stars. It was so delicious. It was food that I would order outside of an airplane. It was that good. For example, I had like seared ahi tuna. Let me tell you, when I say that the inside was perfectly pink and the outside was nice, warm, and crisp, just right. The fact that that's like rewarmed food. It's not like a chef is like back there like, you know, searing tuna. No, like it's prepared, pre-prepared, and then it's like nuked essentially. But it tasted so fresh. I think they had literally just made it and like threw it on the plane right before we boarded. So it was really, really, really good. Okay, the seat itself, very roomy, very spacious, a lot of compartments. The lighting was nice. I love the music. It was just such good, chill, spa mood music, and it was just amazing. Qsuite plane was an Airbus 350. Next, I hopped on to the 787, Boeing 787. And so that's, you know, much smaller, but it was also like awesome. It was new. It's again a 1-to-1 configuration. It had, like, you know, sort of like our seats kind of faced inward, so we had that extra kind of privacy. The doors didn't shut, but it still felt enclosed enough. Let me grab the amenity kits. Okay, and so by the way, on the Qsuite, And on the Boeing 787, they were the same amenity kits, even though my Boeing 787 flight was only 6 hours and my Qsuite flight was 16. I've obviously repurposed these things, as you will see, so I'm not going to bring everything out, but some of the things that we got, like there was like clarins in here, there's like, you know, diptyque, and I took 4 flights in total, like round trip, right? So this is just a conglomerate of all the different flights. So one was clarins, one was diptyque, and then there was Castello, Monte Vibiano. So, you know, it's like, it was great. They had everything. They had everything you needed. Toothpaste, they had pens, they had earplugs, they had all kinds of stuff. They had a face mask, so that's that. I think that's pretty much it. When it comes to customer service, I'm going to give them a 5 out of 5. On-board customer service. When it comes to off-board customer service, I will say this, I'm going to have to give them a 3 out of 5. And the reason for that is because I ended up having to push my trip coming back to the States back a couple of days, and they kind of made it a little bit hard for me. You know, I was really trying to work with, I ended up talking to at least like 3 customer service people. First of all, there was a long wait, you know, to like sometimes 10-15 minute wait, you know, sometimes 20 minutes to get to even talk to someone. And then when I did, I felt like it was pulling teeth to get them to tell me about different flight options. I knew I wanted to leave on a certain day, and I said, okay, what if I leave out of another airport? What if I come through another airport back when I land? Like, is there another option for me? And I felt like they were kind of relying on me to find different options and present it to them and see if they can put me on the flight, when I think it really should have been the other way around. So I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5. When it comes to food, 5 out of 5. Delicious, okay? Delicious. When it comes to cost, my flight, again, it was the business select ticket, so it didn't include all the bells and whistles. My ticket was I think just under $4,000, and it's generally, you know, I was going like on New Year's like Eve, and so I usually get my tickets about 2 or 3 months ahead of time, and they can go anywhere from between $3,500 and $4,500. If I had gotten the full business class ticket, it could go up to $7,000 or $8,000. And so that's just a bit of the, you know, approximation in terms of cost. And so all in all, fabulous experience. I really enjoyed the plane. I really enjoyed the customer service. I very much enjoyed the aesthetics and the vibe of the first class lounge. I felt very exclusive. I felt comfortable. I felt at ease, and it was just fantastic. I hope it's useful. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.